Sound like some Viking music, don't it?
Yeah, gotta get it out the mud, that's the only way to win. Who am I to point the finger like I never ever seen? Been through the ups and downs like the letter N. They don't let you through the door, better kick that again. Cause that's the only way to win. That's the only way to go. Gotta get it out the mud, gotta get it out the flow. Cause that's the only way to go, let's go.
Shooting lights out. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Shooting Lights Out on this Monday, June 5th, 2024. As you can see, your boy is not alone on this day. I got my man, my co-host for Mars Wrestling, Cool McCain in the building. What's going on, bro?
I can't call it, man. If
Man,
you a Lakers fan,
oh, Lord. You come out to get already. You already come out to get already. I can see it right now. Thank y'all for tuning in on today. Subscribe to the podcast if you're watching on the YouTube channel. Go ahead and hit that notification bell on there to make sure you get all the live shows we got going on. Man, it's crazy. We got a lot to talk about, mostly in the WNBA. But y'all know how I start the show. I got news and notes. This might be the shortest around the hardwood you gonna get on Shooting Lights Out. Nevertheless, we're going around the hardwood. And to begin around the hardwood, ex-Laker coach Darvin Ham is joining the Bucks as top assistant. The former Lakers coach is joining Doc Rivers' staff, Cool McCain.
smart move. He was there at first. He got used and abused in LA. Then you go back somewhere, rebuild yourself up, and go get you a real job next time.
Hey, shout out to Darvin Ham. We all knew it. Everybody said it. He won't be out of a job for long. And there you go. He's back as an assistant under Doc Rivers to help get this team back to the promised land of winning the NBA championship. Hopefully, they can keep Giannis healthy next season. But outside of that, and then the news that everybody's been waiting for: a decision has been made. Dan Hurley says no to the Lakers, and he's returning to UConn. He's going back to UConn, and since my Monarchs co-host wanted to jump right to it, I'm gonna let him have it.
Hey, here's the thing that people got to realize. There's been a lot of talk about story franchise and who wouldn't want to coach for the Lakers and getting the opportunity. But Dan Hurley's an intelligent individual. You know what he probably did? He probably reached out to the last couple of LA Lakers coaches and said, hey, man, how was it in that building? How was it to try to coach this team? And then think about it. He's coming from college. So he's coming from a place where you're the authority figure to a place where you either produce or you're going to get fired, even if it's not really your fault. So everybody said, oh, who wouldn't want this type of job? As you notice, the top candidates were Dan Hurley, James Borrego, and JJ Redick, one of who's never coached any type of sports, one who's only been a head coach with the Hornets, and then the guy that just said, I'd rather stay in college. Lakers fans, y'all my people, right? I have good friends that are Lakers fans. But this is what I want to say. Understand this and understand this clearly. Your job is not what it used to be. Your team is not what it used to be, right? And you can try to put that on Jeannie Buss, but a lot of it goes on the players that have been brought into the organization. And unless Jeannie Buss has the final say on player personnel, which most owners don't, a lot of these problems may be hers in the fact of who she's hiring, but they're not directly hers. You've got to do something to make guys want to come. I know you want to get the young coach. You'll probably end up with JJ Redick, right? Because unless some dark horse candidate comes from nowhere, you're probably going to end up with JJ Redick. What I will say is there's nothing wrong with JJ Redick as coach, but a guy that's already had success, a guy that's going to get a new contract with UConn coming off being back-to-back national champion, I don't blame him for not wanting to deal with the circus that is the current LA Lakers. kudos to you for making the right basketball move. Good job, and I ain't mad at you.
You know, Dan Hurley, he listened to the Lakers, and I mean, that man had a 6-year, $70 million contract waiting for him to head to sunny California. And I don't know a lot of people who would say no to that. Dan Hurley did. And Dan Hurley is probably looking at his coaching style. He's probably looking at what he's building at UConn. Remember, UConn has been dormant for a good little minute until Dan Hurley got the job. Now you back-to-back champions. The class that you're bringing in, they're like, man, he can probably three-peat. When is the last time a university three-peated as national champions in college basketball on the men's side? Hell, just before they went back-to-back this year, it took all the way up to what, 2007, when my Florida Gators went back-to-back cool? So we talking from 2007 up to this past basketball season, we didn't have back-to-back champions. And we in the year 2024. That's a long time of parity in college basketball, so to speak. There's a lot of reasons for that parity, but I'm not going to get into it. So Dan Hurley can do something that hasn't really been done for a very long time, and that's three-peat.
This is true.
And he can keep his same coaching style. He can keep his same coaching style. He doesn't have to adjust to the NBA and how the NBA is ran. I've heard the college, college is kind of headed that way because play that. To say the least. But I think Dan Hurley made the decision that he does for him, his family, and what he wants to do when it comes to the game of basketball. And that's coach college. So shout out to Dan Hurley. The crazy thing is, and Cool saw my post. I don't know how many of you saw my post. When the news first broke that he was a top 10, I'm like, hold on, when did this happen? Because y'all selling us, JJ. No, look, we talking ESPN, we talking CBS Sports, we talking The Athletic. That is named 3 of the top news breakers in sports, right?
Mm-hmm.
They all were saying JJ Redd is the front runner. Then all of a sudden, Dan Hurley's name came out of nowhere. I hope, wait a minute, where did this come from? And that changed the whole complexion of how this Lakers job was going to go. And now you got, damn, you don't get LeBron in the late part of his career. You still got Anthony Davis. Still can't make any type of move with the roster that you got. Now people's interest perked up even more because now you got a guy who just came out back-to-back champions in college. Probably possibly going to you. But hey, early seeing the offer. It's a very nice offer. I mean, that was a very nice offer. Now you just said again. Would you offer JJ Redd? Yeah, you haven't had an official formal interview with JJ Redd because guess what? You can't. Because you have to wait till whenever Boston and Dallas get done playing the NBA Finals. So, Laker Nation, you're going to have to be on your P's and Q's and be patient. Because they said, and Washington came out and said, hopefully, we can get a coach in by the draft. Which is late June, by the way. So, that's it for Around the Hardwood. All right, we're going to take a commercial break. Then when we come back, it's all about the W from here. Actually, before I do that, ladies and gentlemen, I know the Boston Celtics is up 2-0 in the NBA Finals. I would deal with that on Wednesday, okay? I would get back into the NBA Finals talk Wednesday before Game 3. So I am not missing out on the NBA Finals. I know what's going on here. So bear with me. Wednesday, you get your NBA Finals talk, okay? Whoever knows, this guy might be joining me Wednesday too. He loves talking basketball. But from this point forward, after this commercial break, it's all about the W because the buzz around the W, you can't ignore it no more. You just can't.
The largest egg producer finds bird flu in chickens at a Texas plant. Weather. Devastating tornadoes rip through the heart of the United States. Inspiration. A breast cancer survivor completed the journey of chemotherapy and now begins a future one of matrimony or sports. Michael Jordan is shown on a photo with Diddy. LeBron James has a video extolling the virtues of a Diddy party. This has been yet another Beating a Dead Horse presentation. We got you covered. BS3 Network proudly presents The Morning Shift with Cole Johnson. Live every weekday morning beginning April 29th at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Into the Net FC.
Kylian Mbappe just all of a sudden finally understood his role, and I think he finally understood that everything Kylian Mbappe has accomplished already, there is still a hell of a lot waiting for him in the future. Kylian Mbappe is only 24 years old. He has accomplished so much, and you know what? Kylian Mbappe has not even reached his prime. Finally seeing, the Marcus Rashford we have been hoping for such a long time, But, this game, after everything Manchester United has been, doing lately, this was actually the ultimate test, to see if Manchester United, honestly was all of a sudden for real.
I explained this. The United States, maybe they have to suffer this loss as a lesson to learn to prepare for the future. Because 4 years from now, the World Cup is in not one, not two, but three countries. The United States of America, Canada, and Mexico. Into the Net FC is available on all streaming platforms, including Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, and YouTube.
Shop hats and official sports gear at Liz. Liz is the leader and number one destination for hats, gears, and everything that moves you, making it the perfect shop for fans to find official sports hats, merchandise, and gear. Represent your team, your town, and your style with a snapback adjustable fitted hat or beanie from thousands of college and pro teams. Browse the very latest sports jerseys and t-shirts from the best teams out there. Liz has officially licensed professional and college sport team apparel and hats featuring the hottest brands and trends. Shop online or visit one of the 100 stores across the country. Locker Rooms by Liz.
Hey, Eagles fan. Join my man Cool McCain and a host of others as they break down every single game, every single week in an objective manner, and also from a fan's perspective as well. Remember, this cast feels just like you. Nobody likes you. And you don't care. Fly, Eagles, fly. Eagles Elite Podcast. Every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on YouTube and other podcast outlets. Poppy J.
You got the option to cry for the government. You got the option to protest. You got the option to keep buying. But this is also an option.
Wise El Jefe.
We're the first tech geeks. We're the first gamers. We're the first everything. Everything. Like Gen X's, we are the ones.
BS3 Network proudly presents the crew from the New York boroughs who never wants that smoke. Nah, they want that fire. Poppy J and Wise El Jefe. Fridays at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Shooting the Lights Out with my Monarchs brother, Cool McCain, with me. quick note, those of you wanting to know, we are sponsored by Fanatics, Paramount Plus, and Lids. And right now, Lids is giving away free U.S. shipping on orders over $24 with the promo code LIDS24. Okay, if you follow the check it down below, you will see it. You can get free shipping with Lids over orders over $24. So go ahead and get your merch. As you can see, my co-host is rocking his Eagles hat, representing the Philadelphia Eagles, which he would get into on Wednesday. We just saw a commercial. How's that going, by the way? Because ain't a lot going on in the NFL right now.
Plenty to talk about, sir. Plenty to talk about.
Okay. Speaking of plenty to talk about, let's go to the W. We got a weekend to recap from the W, and some things happened in the W. That a certain one side of the Commissioner's Cup is set. So basically, we're on the other side before that June 25th date to find out who will win the Commissioner's Cup and win that extra money. So to begin, let's go back to Friday. We had 4 games on Friday. The Fever were in the DC to take on the winners Mystics. The Storm, they was in Vegas to take on the champs. We had the Wings taking on the Spurs, and the Minnesota Lynx and the Desert to take on the Phoenix Mercury. Beginning with the Fever and the Mystics. This game was moved to the Wizards Arena because over 17,000 people wanted to see this game. You had Caitlin Clark and Indiana Fever going against the winners Washington Mystics. And the question is, will the Mystics hand the L to Caitlin Clark? Or will Caitlin Clark find a way to not be the first one to take the L to the Mystics? As you can see, 85-83, a very close game. And Caitlin Clark did Caitlin Clark thing. She dropped for 30. She went for 30. 8 boards, 6 assists, Kia Mitchell gave you 16. Your 2 girls on the inside, Nia Smith and Aaliyah Boston, both with 10 points. And then on the Mystics side, you tried. Doso gave you 19. You got 16 for Aria Atkins. It's just, I don't know what the Mystics can do to win the game. I just don't know. But shout out to Clayton Clark for not losing that game too. Because a loss to the Mystics? Ooh, that'd have been interesting. What you got on your mind, Cool?
I mean, when you have a great game against anybody, that's what's up. Like, I'm not trying to take away from that, but this was definitely her opportunity to have this kind of game. This is a team who can't beat their own children, okay? And honestly, I know everyone wants to look at it from the praise side for Caitlin Clark, but for the Indiana Fever, you beat the worst team in the WNBA by 2 points. That's a concern. That means defensively, you are garbage. That means you're not doing much of anything, honestly. Let's just be real with it. You're not doing a lot, but you're able to beat barely the worst team in the WNBA. Now, shout out to Clark for the 30, but again, this is not a team. Their 2 guards are not defensively inclined, or they haven't shown a lot of defensive inclination this season. So you haven't been getting the same level of hard defense that you're going to get from a lot of teams, right? So you're able to do your thing. I don't ever take away from anybody having a great game, because if you can't go out and have great games against the bad teams, what are you going to do when you play the good teams? But I think there's been a lot of overreaction to the 30-point game against the Washington Mystics. Like I said, 30-point game is a 30-point game, but this isn't 30 points against. And I agree with the comment, both teams have bad perimeter defense. That's why it's so close, yes. But what I would just simply like to say is look at the other side of it. If Indiana is going to do anything this season, right? And I'm not saying that they're going to make the playoffs. I'm not saying they're going to win. They're definitely not going to be the champions of the WNBA this year. But if they're going to do anything, they still have problems that need to be solved. 30 points.
Kevin D. PRF for the first comment of the day.
Yeah.
And this is for we talking 45% for the Fever, 43% for the Mystics. 30% 3-pointer, they shot over 45%. I give the fever that. That's what you need to do. You got to be able to shoot the ball on the road. They was able to shoot the ball on the road.
Defense, it helps.
When you're able to shoot the ball on the road, you can win games on the road, which they did. So shout out to them. That was game 1 of 4 on Friday. Game 2, oh boy, the defending champs have a 3rd loss on the season. This one to the Seattle Storm, 78-65. I did not see this coming, if I'm being completely honest. And Gold Mama showed up.
So
Not only Gold Mama showed up,
Skylar Diggins-Smith too.
We talking 25 and 21 from the guard spot.
Mm-hmm.
And AJ Wilson, we Caitlin Clark is the popular face of the WNBA, but we all understand who the best player of the WNBA is, right? AJ Wilson is beasting on everybody. 29-11, can't fault you that. But the guard play for the champs is a little suspect here. What Jackie Young only 3 points, 1 for 12 shooting. That's not Jackie Young. That's not the Jackie Young I know and watched from days of Notre Dame, getting drafted to the Las Vegas Aces. Kelsey Plum gave you 18, but 7 for 17. When your field goal percentage is almost the same as your points, that's a problem.
Well, you got to remember something too. Mr. Salins here. This is not a Storm team that doesn't defend on the perimeter, right? They're gonna put pressure on the other team's guards. They're gonna make you play.
Oh, I get that. What I'm saying is
you earn it. And
what I'm saying, well, your field goal attempts almost match your points. That's not good.
Aces didn't do it this time. If that guard play,
like, you know what I'm saying? I know how people look at stats and they be like, "Oh, she had this much." Do you see how many field goal attempts she took? Kelsey Plum took 17 shots to score 18 points. That's not good.
That is not.
That's not good math.
But this team at the guard position, they not playing.
The Storm 7-3 on the season, dropped the Aces to 5-3 on the season. I don't remember last year. It took a very long time for the Aces to have 3 losses on the season. It took a very long time.
A lot of teams have gotten better, sir. The gap isn't as big as it was, and then you have teams who, you gotta remember, this is back-to-back champs. So whenever you're playing a champs, you giving them your A game, right? So they're getting the best version of a Skylar Diggins-Smith, Nneka Ogwumike. She only had 12 points, but she got 11 rebounds, a couple assists. So there's other things that they're doing. You gotta remember, they're giving the best shot.
And let me not exclude Miss Isa, because 14 and 15, good luck.
Mm-hmm. 5 assists too.
15 boards. 15 boards? And you're guarding AJ Wilson, so to be able to out-rebound AJ Wilson, that is impressive. I got to give her love on that one. Shout out to the Storm on that one. Maybe your team statistics here. Shooting wasn't that good, but hey, like Coach just said, when you play defense, when you're the Seattle Storm, things can happen. And they was playing defense.
They got enough pieces, and they give it to you. Like, this is a team that I'm surprised that they had lost 3 games. Like, when I looked, I was like, they already lost 3 games. I'm like, dang. Because if you look at that roster, you're like, them ladies should be whooping them some ass right now.
See, you was looking at the roster. I was looking at the chemistry. The chemistry wasn't there yet.
I know, but my point was they should be whooping the ass. It was going to take a little time because of the roster. But some of these games you looked at, I'm not going to go into specifics, but there was one loss that you like, really?
It happens.
I know chemistry is one thing, but sometimes individual play should be enough while you build the chemistry.
Now you want to talk about surprises, right? The Dallas Wing. And shout out to Megan Price. She covers the Dallas Wings. I don't know what's going on with Dallas. I have no idea what's going on with Dallas Wings, okay? I did not expect Dallas to be 3-6 after 9 games. That's just me. I didn't expect it. I don't know about Cool. He'll say his piece when we get there. But they took an L to the LA Sparks, 81-72. And the Ricky Handy's just, I mean, she might be the most consistent person in the WNBA right now with double doubles because she's always having a double double for whatever reason. She's 22 and 12.
So
Cameron Brick got a double double. The Ricky got a double double with 10 and 10. I like it.
Jimmy Butler likes it too.
Rocking the Cameron Brink jersey in attendance. Hemi Butler. Enrique Gomawale, 22 points. I mean, Maddie Surgeries, she put in 21, but I have no answers of what's going on. I don't know what to solve for the Dallas win. Maybe you do.
I mean, it's kind of what you talked about before. Chemistry. It's got to be chemistry. Like, this is a team who should be better than this, right? This is a team who finished last year looking good, kind of looked like on the rise. And then this year is just like the chemistry isn't there. Everybody got to figure out their roles. I think Enrique is really balling, right? Like, she's the number 2 scorer in the WNBA.
They need Sabi back fast. They can't get her back fast enough right now.
Right. But in the meantime, you got what you got. So the thing is chemistry and making it work. You had 2 ladies that pretty much carried the load on the offensive side. You got to have other people be able to make buckets, step up and score. You got 8 points and 12 rebounds. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, Monique Billings. Like, you got to, you know what I'm saying? You got to be able to give a little bit more on the offensive end. You got to be able to help your team. Like, a lot of these.
I mean, Billings been up and down this year. Right.
But I'm saying you have to do a better job of just consistency. Like, if you don't have good chemistry and then you can't get the same consistency from your team, Billings should be able to give you 12 points against anybody in this league, right? She should, especially if she got 12 rebounds, she should at least be able to give you 12 points. Those 4 points make a big difference. You know what I'm saying? McCalvin only gave you 6, right? So you had 2 people kind of go out and give you 21, 22, but then everybody else got to do a better job of being able to fill in, make some shots, and just help carry that offensive load.
Remember what I just said about Kirstie Plum, ladies and gentlemen? Look at McCloud. Yeah. She got 6 points on 1 for 6 shooting. That's not going to cut it. You can't have the same amount of points as field goal attempts. That doesn't work in basketball. It just doesn't work in basketball.
Look at Enrique.
22 points off 28 shots.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. It just doesn't.
Yeah.
You gotta be better.
But it's also
you gotta be better.
That the team is expecting you to do a lot. And sometimes you need some other people to take some of that load off.
And look, 39% from the field, 11%, basically 12% from 3-point range. You're not going to win road games. You're not going to win road games going 2 for 17.
Or home games.
That is true. But in this case, you're not 2 for 17 on the road. You putting yourself at a more disadvantage than you already are. That doesn't work. And then we get the game for the Minnesota Lynx. We're in the desert to take on the Phoenix Mercury. Whew. Somebody put that third L on the Lynx, and it was the Mercury. About 1 point. Look at that fourth quarter. Mercury came out in the fourth quarter and took it from the Lynx. Mm-hmm. We took it from the Lynx.
You remember Lil Webby? Give me that.
And guess who came back for the Mercury?
Who could that be, sir?
Brittany Griner is back.
No.
First game back, already dropped 11 points on 6 shots. 11 points on 6 shots. Think about it. Okay.
And, I mean,
Khalil Cop. I don't know how many adjectives I got for her. She just around here going for 30 points with ease.
I'm always wonder why they made that trade. Like, what were you thinking?
And those of you who don't know, he's talking about the Chicago Sky.
Yeah, why would you trade Khalil? I just don't understand. Like, I just don't understand.
Could you imagine Khalil Copper with AJ Reese right now? Let's think about that. Think about this. Think about Khalil Copper and what she is doing with the Phoenix Mercury. Translate that to the Chicago Sky. Now that you have AJ Reese.
Was Reese the pick that they got for Copper, or was Cardozo the pick they got for Copper? Because one of them, I think Reese was the pick they got for Copper, so they wouldn't have been on the same team.
I thought it was Cardozo.
So they got a number 2 pick, or they got the higher pick for Cardozo? Okay.
Yeah.
I had it reversed in my mind.
I'll do some research to make sure I get the answers for y'all at another time. But man, look at this. And speaking of don't understanding the why say missing, the reason why y'all won this, you let the Tasha Cattle walk to Phoenix. She's out here throwing out 10 dimes. I think she's averaging about 8 to 10 dimes a game. You think that would help y'all actually win a game or a couple right about now? And plus, he's a great defender too. But no, y'all let her walk. Y'all can really use Natasha Cloud back right about now. I'm just throwing it out. And Diane Taurasi, she can do 12 points. It don't even matter. You got Khalil Copper who can take over the scoring. Now you got Brittany Griner. It's going to make it even harder to score. But you is playing the Minnesota Lynx and LaFisha Collier with 20 and 12 and 6. It's like, that's what she's been doing. That's why she's in the running for the league MVP right about now. And then you got Kevin McBride, 25 points. It just wasn't enough in this instance. I mean, hey, 30. When your 3-point percentage is better than your field goal percentage, I don't like seeing that. Your field goal percentage should always be better than your 3-point percentage. In my opinion, I don't know how Cool feels about that, but your field goal percentage should be higher than your 3-point percentage. I don't like that for Minnesota. Because I mean, you're doing good on the outside, but on the inside, you ain't doing good. That doesn't work for me. Cool.
I don't disagree.
So that was Friday. Let's go to Saturday. Game of the week. Game of the weekend. The York Liberty taking on the Kinetic Suns, and then just an appetizer for those of you who was getting ready for whatever you was going to do on Saturday night. You had Atlanta Dream taking on Chicago Sky. A game that I was nervous about when the last time y'all spoke with me. I said I was nervous about this game because this is the Kinetic Suns we're talking about here in Connecticut, by the way. But their Liberty handled the business. You know, we jumped out to a 10-point lead after one. Then Connecticut, you know, put us in a bind, a legit bind. As you can see, we only scored 29 points between 2 quarters.
So you're just gonna run by the Dream like that?
No, this is the first game on the list. What you talking about? That was
I'm messing with you. Go ahead.
And then the fourth quarter came out by 10 to get that much needed dub and put the first L on the Kinetic Sun.
That was an impressive feat.
Also, though, with that win, we get to defend our Commissioner's Cup title because we are in the Commissioner's Cup title game, which will be hosted at the Barclays Center on June 25th because we beat them. We won the East again.
Would you care to explain to the people how the Commissioner Cups work in case they're not clear on how that works, sir?
Oh, we did that last week when I had my big brother Eric Wilson on. So
I know, but I'm just saying you might have some new.
Think of it like this. Look at the NBA. Look at the NBA Cup. That's pretty much what the NBA Cup got it from. They got it from the WNBA.
Thank you for. I mean, just in case you got some new people that we have a lot of people that are new to WNBA and how things work in the WNBA. So
So it worked out. It worked out for me on Friday because he came. I was like, "You covered WNBA, so you go ahead and tell them about it." So yeah, if those of you who wanted a quick comparison, look at the NBA Cup. That's pretty much where the NBA got it from. My girl Sabrina Ionescu, she's starting to find her game now. She gave me 24, which is much needed 24. Jonquel Jones 22 and 8 and 5 against her former team. And I'm not mad at that either. So my girls did what they did. And hey, Connecticut, They just didn't have it on Saturday. They didn't have it. Bronner gave you 16 on 14 shots. Thomas gave you 10 on 11 shots. Jones gave you 13 on 12 shots. They just didn't have it. It happens. I'm just happy it happened to the New York Liberty because I was very worried about this game.
You were right as well about the Kalia Copper swap, sir. I looked it up.
Okay.
It was for the Camila Cardozo pick.
Nice.
So you still could have had technically Kalia Copper and Angel Reese. That's my Cold State.
Chicago, I'm just saying, just look at it. Look what you could have had. That's all I'm saying.
That's right.
But we got what we needed. Shooting 51%, almost 52% on the roll is a beautiful thing. It's a 52%. Oh my gosh, that's lovely. And we talking about one of the most physical defensive teams in the WNBA in the Connecticut Sun. And we was able to shoot almost 52% from the field. That's great. I love it. Now the rest of the air, now everybody else can shoot like that. We'll see. Now, for my team to Cool McCain's team, as the Atlanta Dream, they went to the Windy City to take on the Chicago Sky. I was interested in this matchup because he had Angel Reese on one side, he had Ryan Howard on the other side. I wanted to see what Tina Charles was gonna teach Angel Reese. Maybe give him some pointers, even though she's gonna do some work. I just wanted to see those things, you know. Cool McCain's team come up with a 9-point victory, 89-80. You know, and Tina Charles put that work in. Cheyenne Parker Tyrus put that work in. The front court of the Dream was not having it. 40 points in the front court.
They said we ain't playing as young girls.
40 points. Camila Cardozo and Angel Reese got taken to school, even though Angel Reese came out with a double-double.
She did come out with a double-double.
13-13. I ain't mad at Angel Reese. You keep doing you.
Mm-hmm.
To get for you to know that them two on the other side is putting y'all two to work and you ain't backing down. I love it.
And you got to shout out Cardozo as well because she's just getting back. She only played a couple of games, you know what I'm saying, from the injury. So she's not even at the same point as a rookie that Angel Reese is right now because of the injury. So you got to give her a surprise. She was out there working. Now, if that work was effective at all times or not is another discussion, but she was out there putting in work. You know what I'm saying? She's out there trying to do a thing. You got to give her props for that.
But, Cole, this is your team, so I'll let you speak on it.
I mean, as simple as this, when the front court plays like that, when Ryan Howard is not having a good game, not efficient at all, 3 of 10, not efficient at all. Kind of shocked, but Alicia Gray, you know, picked up another 14. Howard did put in 10. Haley Jones. I need more scoring from you, ma'am. Like, when I look at Haley Jones' name, a lot of times, and this is not to dump on Haley Jones, I don't dump on players on the team, but I'm real about it. Haley, I see a lot of zeros and single-digit numbers for points for you. I'm going to need those to start sliding up into 10, 12 some games. Like, I need to see this is what you see. What you see on the screen, y'all, this is what you get from an Atlanta Dream recap all the time, right? You get
I pretty much think they made Haley Jones the official point guard.
Yes, they have.
I'm like, this is not the Haley Jones that I know from Stanford.
Right, but listen to what I'm saying though. This is what you see. It's always double digits, single digits, Haley Jones. Just push it a little bit more, Haley. Like, I mean, I get you have these other ladies on the team, but I need more than 5 shots from the point guard. Like, we need more than 5 shots. You have to be another option. So nights where Ryan may be getting that best guard on the other team owner, they've also got to pay attention to you. If you're scoring 6 points in a game, or 3 points, or no points, you know what I'm saying, or 8 points, but you're not really getting past double digits, like you're not being a threat on the offensive side of the court as well, it allows the other team to kind of do some things, which is like the same thing happened with Diamond and Shields on the sun. I mean, on the sky. Like you have to be a person that can get to the basket, that can make some shots, and be someone that the other team has the game plan for. Right now, Haley Jones, you need just a little bit more, just a little bit more. Ryan Howard, I'm not even going to bag on the fact that she was 3 of 10 points, as many field goal attempts as points, because she only had 10 because the front court was dominating and she wasn't really needed.
You heard it here first.
Go Dream.
From a Dream fan himself. And team statistics, I mean, 45 to 48. I mean, girls on both sides on the inside, they were working.
Mm-hmm.
The outside might have been a difference because we talking, outside shooting was the difference because 6 for 16 for the Dream, 3 for 11 for the Sky. If my math is correctly, that's plus 3 for the Dream, which makes it 9. What was the final score? Oh, 89 to 80.
That's one way to look at the math. The math be mathing.
I do my best, you know. I love numbers, you know. I grew up as a mathematician, right? But that was Saturday. Then let's go to yesterday. We had another quadruple header. Coming off a big win over Connecticut, I was worried about this might be the game. The misses might have caught my liberty at the right moment in time after a physical game with the Suns. Phoenix Mercury and Dallas Wings put on a hell of a show that went the other way. The Minnesota Lynx do what they do best, coming off a loss, and then the Sparks shocked the world. Let's get into it.
They really did.
I was nervous because I said back-to-back. Damn, we got a Connecticut Suns in Connecticut, then we got to go home to pay the Washington Mystics. This might be the game that Washington Mystics might actually win because they gonna catch us at the right damn time. They almost caught us at the right time. That game was close throughout. There was no big lead whatsoever by the New York Liberty. I was nervous because, man, when you play a physical team like the Connecticut Suns and you have a back-to-back, that second game is a game that you can easily get caught. Thankfully, my New York Liberty didn't get caught because Jaquan Jones came to the rescue. 29 points, 8 points. Okay, I love it. Sabrina Nescu chipped in with 19. I got 14 from Stewie, and she couldn't hit a 3 to save her life on yesterday. It's all good because we came out victorious. I'm happy about that. We did not be the team to get the Mystics on the board.
Nobody wants to be that team.
But man, I was like, they might actually can catch it because we got to go through Connecticut first. Damn.
This was one where I feel what you're saying. Like sometimes you got them back-to-backs, and you had a real emotional win, and then you get a team like the Mystics that ain't got nothing to lose because everybody expect them to lose like every game now. So yeah, I just hope the Dream ain't the team that lets them get their first dub.
You know, we was able to shoot about 48%, even though the Mystics shot 49%. That was good. Both teams shot well from 3. We're talking about 43% for the Mystics, 44%, and about 44.5% for the Liberty. The shooting was on display at the Barclays Center for sure. I'm just happy we came on the other side of it. That was game one. But I did say the Connecticut Sun New York Liberty was the game of the weekend going into the weekend, but the actual game of the week took place up in Dallas because, wow, 2 overtime games, 97-90. Phoenix Mercury go down to the Big D to get a nice dub, put them at 600, and Dallas Wings are still searching for answers right now. Brittany got her in her second game back with 24 points, 9 boards, 5 assists. Diane Taurasi getting back to her, what she does, what she's known for, 27-7. And like I said, I don't know what to tell you about Khalil Kaufman. I just don't. I mean, it speaks for itself. She got 29 points. Arike Gomorale obviously the leading scorer. Matter of fact, she is the second leading scorer in the WNBA actually.
Yes, sir.
And she put up
Behind
another
AJ
25. She put up 25, 7, and 10. McCown gave you 20. Nah. Just not enough. It's just not enough on the Dallas Wings side. Which is a shame because everybody who's follows the WNBA can tell you Ogumawale, she's one of them. She's definitely one of them.
It's just not clicking yet for the team. I mean, for her it is, but not for the team.
And team statistics, we're talking 46 and 47 respectively. 3-point shooting, terrible. But hey, when you go into 2 overtime games, I don't think people care if the shooting's terrible. They just saw in the same game that we did 2 overtimes. And the road team came out on top. That was game 2. Game 3 takes us to the Twin City in Minnesota. They felt some type of way. And the Storm was the one who had to feel it. A 19-point win, 83-64. Good gracious. And McBride was not having it. She went off. I think this is the 3rd time this season this and you just sitting there like, well, you ain't winning this game because if McBride's going off, good luck. And when I say go off, look at that, 7 for 10 from 3. If her shot's going in, you ain't beating Minnesota. Cause you know the Phoenix Chicago gonna give you a double-double. You know you're getting that 19 and 14. But if McBride is on, oh my lord. You see the difference, right? She wasn't on last game, they took a L. She was on this one. And despite Gold Mama going for 25, it took 27 shots to get there. McBride, she took 13 shots, I got 32.
Well, you also got to remember the Storm just had a big win, right? So, and again, I don't try to take nothing away from the Lynx because we've talked about first games of the season, preseason. The Lynx was going to be one of those teams to watch. Like maybe not quite there yet, we'll see. But the Storm coming off that big win against the Aces, it's hard sometimes once you have that big win, beat the champs, you feeling good, and here come the Lynx like, oh, we just took an L. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes
it's a perfect storm on both sides. One team come off a big win, another team is coming off a big loss, and it's like,
and then here they go meeting, and not surprised with the outcome just because of those external factors. But yeah, again, NECA does NECA things. Jewel Lloyd does what she does, but Skylar Diggins-Smith only gave you 7. The
reason I can test to McBride doing that because she did it to us.
Well, we know that's why sir. We know that.
She did it to us, and that's why we took a nail. And it's like, well, McBride's hitting every damn thing. So, yeah, we ain't winning this one. We're going to take this one. We're going to take this L. So that's what the Storm had to deal with. McBride was at home, and she was firing on all cylinders. And there's nothing you can do on that. There's really nothing you can do. It's just nothing. I'm sorry. Look at that. When you see 45% from the field, you say, yep, that's good. But when you look at it, 54.5 from 3-point range.
Yeah.
Good luck. Good luck.
Unless
because 45 ain't nothing. 45 from the field ain't nothing to sneeze at.
Right. Unless you dominated them in the 2s and they just made a lot of 3s, you in trouble. And that's not what happened. So trouble. But
so you got a team that's already going in on you inside the 2 points, inside the arc. Mm-hmm. And now they obliterate you from the 3. Oh yeah.
They shot better from the 3 than they did overall.
And we're looking at 45%. Hey, that's what you need to shoot 45% from the field. Damn.
Right. But when you shoot 54 from the 3, that's even better than what you shot from the 2.
It's like, well, damn. Yeah, the Storm, you walked into a storm. Pun heavily intended.
Oh, yeah.
That happened. And then finally, the shocker of the weekend.
Big shot.
The Aces have lost 4 games already. They are one game above 500. We talking about the defending champs here at 5-4 because the Sparks knocked them off 96-92. There's a caveat to this, though. Jackie Young didn't make the trip to LA for that game. Kate Martin got her first start of her WNBA career in that game. Not saying it's Kate Martin's fault. I'm just pointing it out. They didn't have their full starting lineup. Even though Asia Wilson 31, 8 and 5 is like, well, damn. You might as well give her the MVP right now. Kelsey Plum had a better game with 24 points. Hey, Kate Martin fielded good. 13. I ain't gonna sneeze at Kate Martin. 13 points. She hit all 3 of her 3-pointers. And she only took 7 shots. And then you go to the other side and you see Hamby with 18 and 10 and 5. Is that name Rakita Jackson that I see? 16 points with 5 boards. Rakita saw the champ and said, "Oh, so this is the measuring stick. Let's see how I do it." When you go for 16 and you're the second leading scorer for the team on that game, you did very good, Rakita. Cameron Brake, only 8 points. She has his boys, you know. I mean, you're going to be in fellowship. You're going against, Kia Stokes and Asia Wilson. Them girls on the Aces, they make you work on the inside. So Cameron Brake, you got to. I think this is your second, maybe your third meeting with them. So you probably still trying to figure out how to get past them, which is not going to be easy.
Yeah, not going to happen this year. At least not for y'all.
But big win for the Sparks. Very big win for the Sparks.
Hey, you can tell by what you see here that there was a lot of contributions besides the starters for the Sparks, right? And that's important. When you can get everybody contributing, when you get everybody dropping little points to help out, it makes it less difficult to beat teams that people don't expect you to beat. To see the Aces already with the same record as the Atlanta Dream, both at 5-4, it's crazy. But it is what it is. Got to start stacking them dubs, however you need to do it.
Yeah, the Chips are at 4 losses already.
Mm-hmm.
Who had that on their bingo card?
If you did, you should have got paid for it. This is why I wish I had a time machine.
See, R. McDonough had 16 points off the bench for the Sparks.
Mm-hmm.
Lacey Brown, who was in the starting lineup, but I think they took Lacey Brown out to put Rakita Jackson in the starting lineup, which is a good move by Kurt Miller. Tipped in with 9 points.
Mm-hmm.
And you know the crazy thing is, the crazy thing is, they have a girl who hasn't. I don't even think she played this season yet. But who was a dynamite in cousin when she played for South Carolina? Zaya Cook. They got Zaya Cook on their team.
Hey, the Dream got a girl from South Carolina that don't play much if she plays at all either. It'd be like that. I mean, I think sometimes it takes different players different amount of time to adjust. And when you're on teams that are a little bit better, you don't necessarily need to play right away, so you can get that time. And we're going to come back to that specific statement I'm making a little bit later on.
You see the team statistic here, the Sparks shot 49% from the field, 40% from 3. Aces, the champs, 44 from the field, 42 on 3. I mean, the Sparks matched the Aces in just about every category, so you got to give them credit.
Yeah, shout out to them. They didn't go out there and steal nothing or get no fluky win. They just played really good that game. Shout out to them. That
is your WNBA weekend recap. And when we come back, I'm going to think about where I want to go next. Because I have 2 options. Okay? But I don't know which way I want to go. So, when y'all come back, y'all figure out. Y'all will know which way I'm going.
I love you morons. You kissing the block. New Edition.
Dear whatever the law firm is. Sincerely, the U.S. Supreme Court.
Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. Go yourself again, Jason Whitlock.
Join Ryan McCarthy
I became a Jets fan because Kermit the Frog was my favorite Muppet because he was green, and the Jets wore green. That's how I became a Jets fan.
and Dustin Henry
ESPN is cashing all in on let's pay a few personalities and we'll just kind of fill in the gaps.
as they walk you through all of the world of sports from their perspective.
The Albany Empire, it's a literal circus.
No credentials required. Where, Ryan, say the tag.
Where you don't need a press pass to talk sports.
Every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. On YouTube and where you can find all podcasts.
WWE Shop is your online source for all things WWE. Be a part of the excitement and score wrestling gear for big events like WrestleMania or SummerSlam. From current superstars to legends, from Raw to SmackDown to NXT. Don't miss this chance to shop for the most awesome WWE merch. Shop for the best deals as well as WWE gift cards and save big on your favorite items. WWE Shop at Fanatics Experience.
Cool McCain.
You thought you wanted Gunther against Chad Gable, but you didn't. And I'm going to tell you why. Chad Gable would take everything that Gunther's done and bury it.
The Playmaker.
It was on site. AJ Styles walked out there seeing LA Knight. Oh, okay. Then LA Knight hopped out the car. Let's go.
Break down everything in TNA, AEW, and all of the WWE programming. Join these two kings, monarchs of wrestling, live every Monday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. Central on the Play Caller Sports Talk YouTube channel. Join the transporter to Hades.
Your butt and gut becomes one.
Join the reformer of hooker whores.
This is my daughter, Placenta Booty Johnson.
Join the bronze god.
Whenever you are in distress, take off your baseball cap and throw it in the air.
Join your very own superhero of broadcasting, Chris Bass.
So whatever color crayon they get, they palm it and do two circles, and that translates to, I can beat up black people.
As she takes you through the week's paces in Baseline. Live every Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, Pacific time zone people, just stay asleep when this is on live and just catch the recording. Oh, I'm sorry. Exclusively on the Chris Bass YouTube channel.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Shooting Lights Out. And those of you who wonder where you can find this show is at and all other shows on the Playmakers blog, well, Spotify, you got Apple Podcasts, you got Amazon Music, you got iHeartRadio, and wherever else you can find your podcast is at. So if you can't check us out on YouTube, you always got all them platforms that you catch the episode at and all the other episodes that we get into. Now, y'all saw the commercial in about less than 2 hours. The two of us will be hopping over to the World Play Caller Sports YouTube channel to talk wrestling for Monarchs of Wrestling. And some interesting things took place. Some interesting things is going to take place. I'm just going to leave it like that. I made my decision. And you know what I'm going to do? We're going to talk about the biggest thing that's taking over the news world. The women's USA roster for Paris was announced, and somebody was left off this team by the name of Caitlin Clark. Now, show you the squad. We have here AJ Wilson, Breonna Stewart, Sabrina Nescu, Kelsey Plum, Brittany Garner, Jude Lloyd, Diane Taurasi, Chelsea Gray, Lakeisha Collier, Alicia Thomas, Jackie Young, and Kalia Collins. I have my set of things I want to get into because I did make a post that I was going to piss some people off. That might not be the case anymore because I had to sit back and think about everything. But before I do that, my man Koo McCain has some things he's going to say first.
So I wanted to hear what Playmaker had to say first, but that's okay because I've been ready for this one. So
you stay ready.
Several different ways we can go on this. But let's go a realistic way. All the Clark sexuals, these are not WNBA fans. These aren't the people that are saying like, hey, you know, because of who she is, maybe having her would be good. But these are the Clark sexuals. And you know why you're Clark sexuals? To say that she deserved a spot is ridiculous. It's asinine. It's ludicrous. She has played a portion of a season, and while she's had some good games, she's had bad games. Defensively, she is lacking. And if you don't want to agree with the fact that she's lacking defensively, don't respond to me because I ain't even listening to you if you don't first acknowledge the fact that on the other side of the ball, where you win and lose games, she's a non-factor. So you pair that up with the fact that all the other rookies, no one else made the team as well. The 12 ladies that made this roster, you could even bust it down even more. Name a guard that made this roster that Caitlin Clark should take the spot of. There isn't one. And if you want to go for performance or popularity, let me explain something to you. Caitlin Clark has a tremendous fan base who are very strong fans of her. It's all good. Caitlin Clark has brought in people that don't really watch the sport. But she's not good enough at this point in her career, not forever, at this point in her career to be a real contributor on this team. Let's say, for instance, a guard gets hurt, right? Somebody tried to have this argument earlier. Should she be an alternate? No, she shouldn't. The second leading scorer in the WNBA is not even on this roster. But y'all want to whine and complain that a rookie who had her best game of the season against the worst team, bar none, in the WNBA, deserves a spot because people watch her. So now we're giving spots not on merit, not on what you've done in the season, not on how you fit on an actual team, but because people want to watch you. Y'all disgust me. You make me sick. You make me want to barf with this garbage. We should not be sitting here having long conversations about a rookie who struggled just because people want to watch her should be part of the Olympic team. Now, by the time we move back around here in 4 years, Caitlin Clark will be a face of the WNBA, no doubt about it. She may not be the face, but she will be a face of the WNBA. And I don't doubt that. And I'm not saying that she's not. But you want to put her on the Olympic team because, we should put the best player on there. Mr. Nigger Knight himself wants to fall up under this. And see, a lot of people that fall under this are people who didn't watch the WNBA this year. As Monica McNutt said to you, sir, 3 years ago, you could have been talking WNBA and put them on the map, and you didn't. But what you want to do now is you want to act like you've been watching. You haven't. That's why you haven't been talking about it. You have these women on that are knowledgeable for the WNBA topics, and then you just play off of them and get up there and yell and do your shtick. But actual knowledge of the game, you are a knowledgeable individual, but not on something you haven't paid attention to. And that's why you got mad at Monica McNutt. And since she kind of put you in your place, we hadn't seen her on the show, so it already tells us who was right and who was wrong. Because if she was wrong, she'd be back. But because she was right, you got sensitive. You turned into Carl Thomas for a few minutes. That's why she hadn't been back home. Digression aside, the point is there are a lot of people who people would like to see that don't make Olympic teams. A lot of people who have played better at the guard position than Caitlin Clark that have not made this team. If you put someone on the team because people watch them and not because they're one of the best 12 players or because they would work better with the other 11 players that's there, That's what's laughable. That's when people should be attacked. Don't you dare try to attack Don State and that committee for not acquiescing to ridiculous and asinine pressure and putting somebody that's not prepared. No, we are not going to do that. We're going to applaud them for saying, you know what, everything aside, we looked at this from the perspective of what's going to be the best team to continue the domination. Because let me tell you something else. The rest of the world is catching up. Women's and men's basketball. The rest of the world is catching up. They're not laying down for the women. The women have been dominant and they want to continue the dominance. So how do you continue the dominance? The 12 best people. And keep in mind, 12 best people. This is not 15. This is not the men. This is the women. 12 best people go. You want to bring up Christian Laettner. At that time, men's basketball had to have a college player. That's what people failed to put out in history. They had to have a college player. That's why Christian Laettner was on that team. You want to complain the greatest scorer in college wasn't on this team. She hasn't done that in the pros. And guess who she's playing overseas? She's not playing college players. She would be playing pros. She's not ready yet. But when she gets ready, she's going to show us. She's just not ready yet.
Ooh, that's it? That's all you got?
That's all I got. There's more, but I'm going to leave it there.
You going to leave it there?
I'm going to leave it there. She's not ready yet. Yeah, we
want you to leave it there.
No, she's just not ready yet. Maybe after you go, I might feel a little fire inside again. It needs to be quenched, but that's all for now.
Oh boy! All right. Oh darn! All right. Let me get myself back on this screen here. All right. So before I do that, we got a comment here. Kevin says, I'm all for Clayton Clark getting the break, but didn't Breanna Stewart get put on her Rikia? So now these three, I picked these three ladies because one, obviously Clayton Clark is the focal point of all this, right? Two, you just mentioned who's the second scorer in all of the WNBA?
Arike Ogumawale.
She's the one that's at the bottom. You see the 26.4 points per game, shooting 36% from the field, 30% from three, you know, all that. And then I thought about how they put Team USA women together, right? I was like, who else would be considered? Oh, how about somebody who's already been an Olympian, who has one gold, and is back from a year off, in Skylar Diggins-Smith. Caitlin Clark might have better numbers than her, but it ain't that much better. So we talking just guards, right? Because the question is, are we really going to see Chelsea Gray in the Olympics? Because she ain't played 1 second of the season yet. She ain't played 1 second yet.
Just like Kawhi Leonard. Can't even get on the floor to play in the playoffs, but y'all expect him to be on the basketball team for the Olympics.
So I just chose these three because I think these are the next three will be in line for guards. Okay, for guards. Now I will say this: the report has come out. Caitlin Clark is one of the alternates, along with Brianna Jones. So if Chelsea Gray doesn't play, Caitlin Clark will get that spot. That's what it seems like. When I made the post that I was going to piss some people off, I had one thought in mind. Correct? But as Cool would tell you, I'm the one who likes to look at all sides, right? I had to think about it. I said, okay. Basketball-wise, hell no, Caitlin Clark don't deserve to be on this team. Do you want to show you this? Maybe do you want to show you this team again? We talking strictly basketball. Who is she going to replace outside of Chelsea Gray? And some of y'all say Diane Taurasi. Y'all must not know. Ever since Diane Taurasi stepped foot in the WNBA, she's been nothing but winning gold. But there's a caveat to that, about me saying that, okay? I mean, let's look at the guards. We talking Sabrina Ionescu, Kelsey Plum, Drew Lloyd, Diana Taurasi, Chelsea Gray, Jackie Young, and Khalil Carter. All them guards. All of them guards, right? Remember, Arike Gomorrah is the second leading scorer of all the WNBA right now. She didn't make the team. But you know what? I figured it out. Now that I'm thinking about it, now that I had to do my research and then look back on it, people like Stephen A. and Shannon Sharp, you know what they doing? They already projecting gold. They're saying, what country can beat the United States on the women's side? What country is that? Why not put Caitlin Clark on for marketing ability? People want to see Caitlin Clark. Here's the other thing, though. And Andrea Carter brought this up on First Take today. If you put Caitlin Clark on the team, how many minutes she's going to get with this roster? Then what's going to be the talking point? Why is Caitlin Clark not getting minutes? Do you not see the freaking roster? Let me show you the roster again. If you put Caitlin Clark on this team, what type of minutes she's going to get with this roster? See, it's a tricky thing here when it comes to this. You put Caitlin Clark on for media and marketability, which is pretty much what the WNBA wants, right? The WNBA wants the money, right? They want the money, they want the market and all that stuff. You put Caitlin Clark on. Here's the problem, though. When you look at this roster, cool. How many minutes does Caitlin Clark get?
Some games, none. Possibly maybe like 5 a game at the most.
I'm just saying. Just think about it.
Not about minutes.
Let me get Kevin in here. Kevin says, I think a Grimmer should have gotten it over Taurasi. Taurasi is a legacy pick, just like Larry Bird. I can agree with that. Because that's the first person that came to my mind is like, where is Ogumawale at? Where is she at? Oh, she didn't make the team. He also says Arike has one of the highest defensive ratings this season. I mean, I think even with me and Koo saying it, I think Kevin made our points very validly when it comes to Arike Gomorrah, correct?
Yes.
But let's go with the marketability side for it, right? Cool. Let's go that route, all right? Number 1 overall picks to play for Team USA as rookies. Oko, Diana Taurasi. Team won gold. 2008, Candace Parker. The team won gold. 2016, Breanna Stewart. Team won gold. So it's not out the realm of possibility to put Caitlin Clark on this team. Especially if the consumption is they're going to win gold no matter what. Correct?
I disagree with that.
Okay. Make sure we're disagreeing.
So, Diana Taurasi was not a. You know what? No, I'm not cutting no corners. I'm getting it raw. Diana Taurasi was physical, and she wasn't pushed around and beat up and physicalized her first few months in the league. And she got hit, but she got up. She was a way more like Angel Reese than Caitlin Clark. Candace Parker. We don't even need to talk about Candace Parker as a rookie. We know what she was doing as a rookie. She earned that spot. And Breanna Stewart. Come on now. I don't care who you are. If you go and do your history of college basketball and WNBA rookies, the 3 ladies you see on this screen right now were on a different level than Caitlin Clark is right now. I don't care about stats. You go watch the games and watch them play. They were preparing ready for that. Caitlin Clark is not right now. We see that in the games. We see that in the turnovers. Her own teammates don't even go over and defend her. But you want to put on a team where these women ain't going to go and defend her either. And where she's going to get 3 to 5 minutes a game at the most, probably, if she's on the team. And there's already animosity because she got one of the biggest shoe deals in history before she even played a game in the WNBA. You got to take these things into account when you're building your team. And I'm not saying you say, oh, we're not going to put her on because people don't like her, but you have to look at, as a point guard, how good is she? Like, seriously speaking, I ain't talking about numbers. I ain't talking about who's going to watch her, but as a basketball person, as a point guard, how good is Caitlin Clark? And let's be real. Say you go, Caitlin Clark gets hurt playing Olympic basketball. Every Clark sexual in the world is going to bomb the internet and complain. All the casual fans, Caitlin Clark shouldn't have been playing. You know, she's new. She needed time, and she's been playing for months, and she needed a break, and a break would have helped her. And now she's hurt, blah, 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 and it's going to hurt the league. It is going to hurt the league if she gets hurt playing overseas. Can she get hurt? Oh, yes, she can. She's not physical.
It's a physical game overseas.
Yes, she's not prepared for that physicality. She's complaining and just starting to say something about the little physicality she's getting WNBA. And I say little because it's only a small portion of what you get overseas.
And the funny thing is, the response from Team USA was that they don't want to deal with all y'all complaining about the minutes she was going to get. Cool, that's it. She probably going to get 3 to 5 minutes.
Yeah, reportedly, that was the thing. I just think she wasn't good enough to go yet. Like, personally.
Oh, and by the way, you know what? I'm going to say my other points, which is actually going to back up my original point.
Oh, go ahead.
But yeah. Well, you want to do marketability? Go ahead, put Clark on there. Because you know what? I mean, this is a bad example, in my opinion, to use. But people have been using it. Why was Isaiah Thomas scratched from the 92 Olympic team?
Because Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen and several people didn't want him on the team.
And who did everybody want to see at the Olympics from Team USA?
Michael Jordan.
So people want to use that as, you see the men, they put Michael Jordan on the team because they knew it was going to sell. People want to see MJ. Oh, granted, people do want to see Caitlin Clark. But if you look at that roster, how many minutes she's going to get? And then y'all going to be playing how many minutes she got. But you're not looking at the fact that that roster is stacked. That is a loaded roster. Am I lying? So my problem, cool calls you cart sexual, my problem with people who are tuning into the WNBA, y'all not doing y'all homework. Because y'all see somebody who happened to be a white girl who can shoot, who has the ability to shoot similar to Steph Curry. And that's what y'all want to see. Without taking into account what could happen to her. Not looking at the competition she was going up against going into the WNBA. And now I'm not taking into account of the freaking roster that is and saying to yourself, well, with this kind of roster, how many minutes she's going to play? Because she ain't starting, that's for damn sure. And she ain't the sixth woman off the bench. I can guarantee you that.
She would be the last guard off the bench. And heaven forbid she's on the team and say they get over there and they actually need her to play and they have to pull an alternate and they need her to play. If she go out there and start turning the ball over and getting beat up.
What she's leading the WNBA in, by the way.
Yeah. We talk about everything that she does offensively, but we don't talk about her lack of defensive proficiency whatsoever or the fact that she turns the ball over at a record-setting rate either. Because, see, those aren't happy things about Caitlin Clark, so we don't want to talk about those. You got to be fair. If you're going to talk about all the good, you got to point out the things that she got to improve into. Physicality is number one on the list of things, and she got to want it on defense. I'm not saying she got to be the best defender in the league, but you got to be more than a matador cape when it comes to defense.
And And let me put Kevin coming back up here because this is what I'm going to go to next. He said, I'm afraid. He said, I am all for Caitlin Clark getting the break. That's my next slide. Because I want y'all Caitlin Clark fans to see this. Her senior season started in November 6th of 2023. She played in the national championship game on April 2024. How many months we talking about? So December, January, February, March, April. That's already 5 months. Basketball Caitlin Clark has gone through from the beginning of the college season to the national championship, right? The very next week after the national championship game, which they lost to South Carolina, by the way, it's the WNBA draft, who she went first overall, correct? Then a couple of weeks later, WNBA preseason game, where she played at Dallas on May 3rd.
And you got to remember, after the draft, she went back to Indiana, and she had to, get the preseason started, training camp.
Oh, and by the way, just for y'all who probably forgot, the reason why y'all forgot, the women's side had a tryout. Caitlin Clark couldn't go to the tryout because she was trying to win the national championship. Remember that? The Final Four and the USA trial was at the same time. She had to pick one or the other. Her team made it to the Final Four. She went for the better than her team. It's possible Caitlin Clark for that.
So what you're telling me is she didn't even do what it takes to qualify because she was trying to get a championship. I'm not knocking her for, but she didn't go through the correct provocations or things to be actually on the team as well. But we're not talking about that because Caitlin Clark.
We can call it an excuse absence because she was busy handling other obligations.
I'm just saying she wasn't there. So what I'm saying is, technically speaking, if you have two people that are equal, one person was at the camp and one person wasn't, you would go with the person that's not in the camp because of who it is. It's basically what most of America wants us to do.
In some cases, depending on what that person at the camp did. And then
the camp,
I know. I say in some cases. That's why I say so.
They won't be there.
And then we talking 11 days after preseason, her WNBA season started at the Kinetic Sun. And guess what? Her last game before the Olympic break is July 17th when they go to Dallas. So how many months of basketball are we talking about for Caitlin Clark?
Eight straight months. It looks like
anybody want to say how many months we're talking about?
It looks like about 8 to 9, almost 9 months of straight basketball to me.
That girl has been playing.
I'm not the
That girl has been playing basketball for 8 months. It's only 12 months in the calendar year.
Yeah, almost 9. Because you think about it, she started November 6th, and she won't get a break until July 17th, so almost 9. Really about 8.5.
8 months of basketball. My original reason for her not being it, because she needs to break. Get away from all y'all. That means people who like her, people who don't. Get away from all y'all. This girl has been the headline for 8 months. And guess what? A lot of people don't want to give credit. I don't want to say don't give her this, but they don't say it. And Caitlin Clark has done all 8 months professionally. She has handled all this attention that she's getting professionally. I think she needs a break. And she gets a month break, which is going to be needed for her. Because I know at some point in time, this is mentally draining her. Because I know even though all the fame is, all the attention is good, at some point you're like, man, can y'all go a day without talking about me, please? That's all I'm saying. This girl has been playing basketball for 8 months. And to my opinion, I don't know who might disagree with me. In my opinion, her playing basketball since November might be another problem, reason why she's having more turnovers than she usually has.
I mean, we're going to see. think a lot of it has to do with.
On top of going to the next level, but I'm saying like,
Well, I mean, I think a lot of it has to do with in college. A lot of the games she wasn't really tested. Like, let's be real. Let's not sit here and act like at Iowa she was playing top notch programs every week. And I'm not saying this to knock her, but I'm just saying you got to be realistic. Like we talk about everybody else and the good and the bad sides, right? But I feel like a lot of times with Caitlin Clark, we only focus on what she does well and how this should propel her to this, and she should get this because she's doing this, and that's cool. But we also have to admit there was a step up from level to level, but there was also a step up even if she were in college and she was playing in like the Pac-12 right last year, or she was playing the women's ACC conferences that had a lot of really strong teams. If she was in the women's SEC, right? Those conferences had a higher level of defensive focus, strategy, and teams than she was facing at Iowa. And again, she can't control that, but I'm saying we have to take that into account. I'm not saying it as a negative, but more so as a keep in mind. So she's also going against more athletic ladies at every turn now, based on what she was playing in college. Because there were games when you saw Iowa play in college, you're like, oh, they about to dust them. She go out there and score 30. You're not surprised because the team was not prepared for that. You're not facing that now. Even a team like Washington played you hard. The worst team in the WNBA could probably spank any team, including the national champs in college. So you got to take that into account as well. And I think people need to understand it. And I'm not saying, I said it before, it's not that she'll never get there, but y'all got to relax on acting like she's already there. She's not there yet. She's looking better as we go from game one to now. She does look better. And I'm not giving her props. I'm just saying, let's not pretend that those things aren't going to happen at levels. Angel Reese looks better than she did her first game. Carmela Cardoza, she's not looking too good, but this is only that was only like her second or third game. Because it takes time. Time in getting used to it, learning your space, different players, different schemes, speed of the game, intelligence level from players. All those things increase when you go from level to level. So it's going to be a struggle for all the rookies. This is not a Caitlin Clark themed logic. She's just the way everybody wants to hear about. But everybody's struggling to an extent because you're rookies and it takes time.
Kevin said, I'm giving Clark a break on the turnovers. And the 11 games I watched, I haven't seen a defensive focus on one player since Jordan. My only pushback to that is that's coaching. That's coaching. Because Coach Sy has not figured out a way for her two best players to go in the WNBA. Because if we're being honest, we're being 100, right? Who won a Rookie of the Year last year?
We know who won Rookie of the Year last year. The forgotten girl in Indiana.
Aaliyah Boston.
Aaliyah Boston, the forgotten woman.
Who's going to win Rookie of the Year this year?
Unless she get hurt, Caitlin Clark.
So, Coach Sy, maybe you need to figure out how to get your two soon-to-be Rookie of the Years to work as a duo. Because if you can get them to work as a duo, you might have a better season. That's coaching. That's all I'm going to say on that. That's coaching.
I don't think it's just coaching, though, right? I don't argue that coaching has a part of it because I don't ever believe anything like that. Coaching doesn't have a part of it. But also, you're a point guard, Caitlin Clark. And this is another thing. We talk about some of those guards. Some of those guards aren't point guards. We're asking her to go and lead a point and be a point guard, be the distributor for Team USA. And she's struggling with turnovers. And you can give her a pass all you want, but it's happening. So whether you give her a pass, whether you don't give her a pass, the turnovers are there, and they're consistent. It's not like 10 turnovers one night and no turnovers last night. She's consistently turning the ball over. Is that who you want on a platform where the world's going to see her still learning? I would say no. is to protect her as much as it is that other people are better. This is a protection for Caitlin Clark, and I mean, I understand Clark sections can't understand that, but you let her develop, you let her be right, so by the time she hits the Olympic stage, she's ready to get the ball running. She may be a starter in 4 years on the Olympic team, or at least the first backup guard off the bench. May not be the sixth person, but seventh or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I would rather see her happen. Because if you really want her to be the face of the WNBA, don't put her in situations where she may not look as good as you want her to look. And then there's the question that was asked earlier today by an ex-WNBA player. If she goes and say she has a great Olympic performance, does that necessarily translate into more dollars for the WNBA? And the answer to that is it may or may not. Because those audiences watching, let's say you're from another country, right? The Caitlin Clark that you're going to get over there, what do we say, 3 to 5 minutes a game? That's not worth you going back to your country and watching her and finding a way to watch Caitlin Clark. You know what I'm saying? But if you wait, let her do her thing in WNBA, let her grow and develop, then again, when her time comes to hit the Olympic team, and I don't doubt she will be there multiple times, 3, maybe 4 in the future, because her style of play, she can play a long time. She's not going inside like she's not driving. She's more of a jump shooter. I don't say that she's anywhere in the same realm, but she's the same type of player as Steph Curry in that she's mostly a shooter and a passer. And if she goes inside, you expect her to pass, or maybe she gets to the basket, she shoot a little layup or a float or something. And she's not going to ever be, I don't believe, strong on defense, but she can be a lot better than she can put some effort in on that side. So what I'm really saying is let's wait until we have a better version of Caitlin Clark. This is a logical thing, so I know a lot of y'all don't want to hear logic. That's a dirty word. I'm cursing. Logic. Let's have the best version of Caitlin Clark appear on the international scene. We don't have that yet either.
Kevin says, Aaliyah, Boston is looking mid to me. Boston has way more to prove than Caitlin Clark.
Really? So a rookie of the year's got more to prove than a new player. Wow. That's what I mean, and he doesn't have to be technically a Clark sexual, but that's what I mean. Like, it's everybody else. It's not the person that should be delivering the ball and getting the rookie of the year in the game. It's everybody else. It's the coach. It's Aaliyah Boston. It's the defense. It's the game planning. But it's never that Caitlin Clark needs to do a better job of trying to develop chemistry with Aaliyah Boston and make sure that she's that second scorer at least, so that less pressure is on her. None of that is Caitlin Clark's fault. I just find that crazy. If that was a men's player, we would be all over him for doing the same exact thing. Would we not? We would dog him for coming in and taking over somebody's team and then being inefficient, turning the ball over and not getting that person involved like they forgot how to play in the offseason. And now it's their fault that they need to prove more than somebody who they've already been a dominant force in the league with a better passing point guard. But she's the one that's got to prove more. I just find that laughable. I just unbelievable. Unbelievable.
So for me, I kept this slider because I want y'all to see the timeline of Caitlin Clark's basketball journey. 8 months, almost 9 months of straight basketball. There's not a time where she had to get away, to relax, recuperate, look at what's happened. What can she has never had time to do any of that because we want to keep throwing her in every single thing there is. And here, you know, the funny thing is, here's the funny thing. I'm cool. So if you want to market the WNBA because Caitlin Clark's on the Olympic team, go for it. I don't think it'll be that efficient because I don't see her getting a lot of minutes on the team. You'll say that team is stacked. That's just me. Okay. And by the way, those of you probably asking, let me go down this list. I might be helping the marketing people with their side on this one. Okay, cool. Just letting you know, I might be helping that side out. All right.
Your show.
1996, the USA had a point differential of plus 168. 2000, point differential of plus 124. 2004, the year Diana Taurasi was part of the team, plus 145 point differential. 2008, Candace Parker year, plus 215 point differential. 2012, plus 183 in point differential. 2016, the Breonna Stewart year, plus 204 point differential. And then in 2020, when we had that COVID year and then we still did the Olympics in Tokyo, a plus 37 point differential. I went all the way back to 1996. And still the point differential doesn't exceed more, doesn't go less than 37. Meaning,
And that's overall or per game. You saying per game?
overall.
Overall. Okay. And how many games do they play in the Olympics?
So I think you usually get 3 to 5 preliminary games that you got the knockout stage. So you're talking about anywhere to like eight, maybe 10 games.
So normally it's been about 10 for the USA, right? Because they've been in the championship, right?
Yeah.
So you take their highest point differential, which was what, 180?
The highest one was in 2008 when it was 215.
All right, so we'll take the 215 and let's divide that by 10 because we'll say they played 10 games, right? That's pretty fair. So in their best year, they were outscored on an average teams by 21.5, right? That's a solid. It's pretty solid, right? 21.5 points average. So that means there's some teams that you spanking badly, and there's some teams that are right there with you. But let's think about those years where it's like 100. The last time was like 30 something, right? That's a lot less. It's a lot of that point per game. So it's not as much as I've been telling people. I'm not saying that there's not teams that they're going to go out there and beat by 20 or 30 points, because there are. But there are some teams that can stick with USA, right? There are some. And they don't beat them, but they're not getting blown out. So the point I'm making is even in the best year, you were beating teams by like 22 points, which is average. We just run up to 22. That's an average. So there were some teams you were beating by 30 or 40, which means there were some teams that were closer. So the only point that I want to make off the numbers, since we're using the numbers, is the best season Team USA had, they were winning by 22 points more per game. Some of the lesser seasons, down to like 3.7 points per game. So you see that gap there from 21 points to 3.7 points.
That was a COVID year too, so a lot.
It was a COVID year. It was a COVID year for everybody. It wasn't just a COVID year for US.
I know. I'm saying a lot went on that year. A lot.
So, so COVID didn't just happen in the United States. COVID actually got to the United States later. It was actually in other places first. So what I'm just saying is it was an even playing field. It's not like the US had COVID and nobody else did. You know what I'm saying? So I don't take away from the Lakers championship because they won the COVID, because everybody else got a chance to play. The only thing I do say about the championship, and it's factual information, since we're talking about the COVID thing, the Lakers were able to get Anthony Davis and LeBron James healthy because they had their break. Anthony Davis was just like Anthony Davis in street clothes, but you had to break because of COVID, so he was able to get healthy, get back to health, and LeBron James was able to rest that older body, heal up some little minor injuries. I'm not knocking anyone. I'm just saying that those are true facts. So when we talk about COVID, it affected everybody the same. There wasn't like one party that was over affected. So just like the US had to get out there and play games and do stuff with other things happening, every other country did too. So I don't see where that's like, to me, a difference in that year and any other year. Now, if they were out there beating people by 200 that year, then it's like, okay, the world's not catching up. But it seems like not able to beat them, because I don't think anybody's going to beat Team USA. But I think we're over-evaluating how great Team USA is versus the world now, because the rest of the women's world is catching up to an extent. right? You got a lot of WNBA players that are now from other countries who are going to be playing for other countries. It's not like everybody in the WNBA is in the U.S. and everybody's playing for like little small leagues overseas. There are a lot of WNBA players that are from other countries that are going to be playing for those countries too. So it's going to be a smaller, in my opinion, gap.
I'm going to say this. Whether she's on the team or not, don't worry about it. Because I want y'all to remember this. Listen to me clearly when I say this. In 4 years, in 2028, where are the Olympics at? They will be here in the United States in Los Angeles, California. Keep that in mind. Just in case they don't need an alternate and Caitlin Clark can't be a part of the team. Just know in 4 years, Caitlin Clark can don the U.S. jersey in the home country.
That's going to be a great debut for her too. And I'm not saying this because I don't hate her, right? That's going to be a great debut for her. And I think you're going to see a couple more of these rookies that are going to be on that team with her. Because another thing is, this is true too. And we've talked about this before, Playmaker. I don't know if we talked about it here or not. These veteran ladies in the WNBA have to learn you got to move out of the young people way. Certain people are going to get a spot as long as they last, whether they deserve it or not. So once they start to move out of the way of the younger people, and they start really picking the people based on who plays well, which this newer generation of players, you don't have, like, you got Asia Wilson at the top, like, no doubt about that. But once you get past Asia Wilson, it's not as many players that you're like, oh, young players that you're like, oh, they got to be in, they got to be in, they got to be in, right? It's more like they're good, but if they don't have a good time that year or they don't have a good showing at camp, somebody might take their spot. So I'm excited for the future of the WNBA because we're going to have more controversy. We're going to have more, this person didn't make it, and they did these stats, and this person didn't make it, and this young rookie didn't make it. It's going to happen more because as things go on and the players get better, this is 4 more years of young girls that are now just starting high school, right?
And guess what? And
they'll be able to play in the Olympics next time.
And guess what? The crazy thing to wrap this up, in 4 years, Paige Beckers will be in the WNBA, Juju Watson will be in the WNBA, Flossie Johnson will be in the WNBA.
Haley Van Lith will be in the WNBA if she can stay healthy.
Hey, Haley Van Lith fought the 3-on-3 with Cameron Brett and Ryan Howard, so I'm looking forward to them to bring home gold.
Yeah, that's a fun 3-on-3 team.
Something just be cool. Cuss early, I'm gonna cuss now. Be patient.
Dirty words.
Be patient. Patience is a virtue. You gotta use it. Remember, in 4 years, we host the Olympics
in LA. Guess who's gonna be on that team? Cameron Brink gonna be on that team.
Cameron Brink, Angel Reese, Enrique Gomorale, LaFisha Collier, because I don't think she ain't stopping no time soon.
My girl from I always forget her name. The other girl from she's nice too. I can't remember.
I expect Juju to be on that team.
Juju's gonna be on that team, I think. Yeah. It's gonna be fun.
Just be
patient. It's gonna be fun.
It's all right. It's all right. Let her get a month off, okay? She been playing basketball for almost 9 months straight. Let her get a month off.
Yeah.
Let her take a break.
She ain't even as mad about it as the Clark Sexuals are.
No, she's not. Now, I will say this. I happy what she did say. She's going to use it as motivation, which you should do when you're a player.
Yeah.
Use it as motivation.
If you don't get a chance to play on the third reserve team against the All-Stars before they go over there, right? You should use that as motivation. Absolutely. Everything that happened to you, if your drink ain't full that day, that should be motivation for you. Like, for real, if you are a competitive person, and you should be at that level. If you out of town, like say you visiting Dallas, right? And you're Caitlin Clark, and you go to Whataburger and your drink is only 2/3 full when you get it. Oh, y'all gonna try to slight me because you know who I am? Okay, I'm gonna show them tonight how my drink should be full. Like for real, it should be that serious. That's how you become great.
So let me and him get up out of here, because in about an hour and 10 minutes from now, we'll be talking wrestling.
Yes, we will.
So thank y'all for tuning in. Yet again, if you're watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification for the next time we're going live. Wednesday, I'll get back into the NBA Finals. The series shifts to Dallas on Wednesday. That's a good time for me to get back into it. We count what took place in Boston from games 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
And to tell Dallas fans, should they worry or should they not worry? That's Wednesday. Until then, y'all enjoy the rest of y'all Monday. Y'all jump over to Real Play Caller Sports Talk YouTube
Real
channel.
Play Callers on
yeah.
YouTube. Just Real Play Callers. Hour and 10 minutes. We riding hard.
For all my wrestling fans, we talking TNA, AEW, WWE. We talking about it. Until then, enjoy your day. Catch y'all later.
Yep.
You've done great, but you can't stop here. You can't stop now. You gotta keep going. Through all your trials and your tribulations, you gotta keep pushing. Now, finish your canvas.
Yeah, gotta get it out the mud, that's the only way to win. Who am I to point the finger like I never ever seen? Been through the ups and downs like the letter N. They don't let you through the door, better kick it again. Cause that's the only way to win. That's the only way to go. Gotta get it out the mud. Gotta get it out the flow. Cause that's the only way to go. Let's go.
Thank you for tuning in to today's episode. If you want to follow the podcast, you can follow it on all streaming platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, and a whole lot more. This has been Shooting Lights Out.